It is 6 a.m. here on this Wednesday, getting a little closer to halfway through the week. So glad you're with us. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Nada Iranpour. We're going to start with your forecast. Clear start, it looks like, in some areas. Meteorologist Evan Narani with an eye on all the things. Hi, Evan.
Good morning. Yeah, it's a really mild start to the day. We're chilly in some spots, especially out toward East County. But by the afternoon, we should be kind of right on par with average. So we expect those forecast highs to come in right at average along the coast, upper 60s, low 70s. Our inland valleys will be climbing to the mid 70s, and it'll be a partly cloudy day overall. Very similar to yesterday. Current temperatures out the door, though, are in the 30s out in Julian, for example, 38 degrees, 39 right now in Ramona, 45 in Escondido, and out by the coast, we are generally in the low 50s. Beautiful live look outside, though. Sunrise in just a couple minutes. We'll be enjoying those partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Coming up, we'll talk more about a chance for rain in the forecast by the time we get to early next week. Back to you.
This morning, we are hearing from candidates for California governor. 6
Democrats and 2 Republicans facing off in a high-stakes debate last night. News 8's Chris Groh joining us live here in studio with some of the key moments in case people missed it. It's always good to get that recap.
Right.
Chris.
Yeah, look, I mean, we are getting closer and closer to the day in which you will receive your ballot in the mail if you're signed up for that. And then, of course, we've got the primary in June. We'll get to that countdown in just a little bit. But this was a pretty key debate here for those, especially polling in the single digits, a chance for them to try to make a name for themselves. And we saw things get a little bit more heated than in past debates. Take a listen.
Want socialism, go somewhere else, because single payer people come to America for the best medical coverage and care in the entire world.
And what if you don't have any health care? What are you going to do for the people who need
I thought I got to answer, but apparently we're just going to do this all night.
We only have so much time.
But what you're proposing is not in there. You can't.
That's not correct. That's not correct.
Let's go to that, because that was not the question. The question was, here comes the fire. What are you going to do?
Please, Mr. Bianco, you had your time, Mr. Mahan.
That wasn't the question.
I'd love to just answer the question.
Yeah, you can see Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco involved in a lot of those back and forths. But in total, 6 Democrats, 2 Republicans taking the stage at Pomona College. Topics ranged from education to the homeless crisis and affordability. Several candidates attempted to single themselves out from the crowd on certain issues, like San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan saying he would push to repeal the gas tax. In fact, Tony Thurmond was the only other Democrat to agree with him. Javier Becerra doubled down on a proposal to freeze home insurance rates. But if you sense the theme here, the biggest issue many Californians are juggling right now, they want to hear these candidates address affordability. Here are some of the candidates addressing how they would attack the issue.
Rolled out policies for free childcare. That is a game changer for California, bringing us something that other states don't offer. And 2 free years, tuition free at our UC, our CSUs, and our Cal Polys. Those are all real affordability solutions.
My plan to make our state Cal-affordable, $3 gas, cut your electric bills in half, your first $100,000 tax-free, and especially for young people, a home you can afford to buy, so we can restore that California dream.
Now we're going to hear from some of the other candidates on affordability in just less than a half hour. Now, the next debate is next month. We might see a smaller field, but the next date that you need to keep in mind here is the fact that the primary, again, jungle primary, meaning the top 2 vote getters regardless of party, that'll be in June. Back to you guys.
All right, Chris, thank you very much for that. This morning, there's no relief in sight. Unfortunately, gas prices around San Diego now continuing to go up.
It's graphic stuff to see here. AAA released these numbers overnight. Today, the average price for a regular gallon of gas, $6.04. The day before the war in Iran started, San Diegans were paying $4.67. News 8's Tori Apodaca live in Kearney Mesa with more on when these prices could potentially go down here. Tori?
Yeah, and the Chevron right here is above that average at $6.35 right now. Definitely not what anybody wants to hear, but AAA says the prices will not go down until the Strait of Hormuz opens back up. So why does it seem like everything is dependent on the Iran war and the Strait of Hormuz? Well, that's because about 60% of what we pay at the pump is tied directly to the price of crude oil. About a fifth of the world's oil supply passes through the Strait of Hormuz, more than 100 ships daily. But with bombing threats, that has not been happening. Iran has offered a deal to reopen the strait to commercial shipping if the U.S. drops its military blockade of Iranian ports and vessels. But the offer apparently does not include conceding its nuclear program, which President Trump insists needs to be dismantled as part of any agreement to end the war. So we can expect to see foresee the higher prices to continue for now.
It's extremely stressful. I've spent probably like $200 probably in less than 10 days.
I've been doing side hustles like Amazon Flex, and so with the driving and then constantly having to pump gas to just do the side hustles, it's a little crazy.
Yeah, people definitely making some difficult decisions with their budgeting. Just a month ago, we were sitting at $5.93 as average in San Diego, but people say they really don't have a choice. They need to keep driving, so they're going to keep paying no matter how high the price. Reporting live in Kearney Mesa this morning, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Tori, thank you very much for that. And now new this morning, look at this. The Orion spacecraft from the Artemis II mission is back at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida after leaving Naval Base San Diego.
Orion took 4 astronauts around the moon earlier this month and splashed down off the coast of San Diego. Crews will retrieve data from Orion and analyze its heat shield. NASA is now getting ready for Artemis III, a docking demo in Earth's orbit. The goal is to land on the moon in 2028. Right now, it looks, just, normal, but could you imagine seeing that thing at thousands of degrees with like balls of fire
The way that
underneath it, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
And when they opened that hatch and we saw the astronauts
awesome.
smiling.
It was so cool.
The
I
best
mean,
thing.
I'm ready for Orion 3.
Yeah,
know,
bring
right?
it.
Or
Literally.
Artemis 3, yeah.
And the movie that
I
will
think
follow.
it's normal.
I know, right? Well, like you were saying, right? Ramin or
He's
Roy
like, is there a splashdown today? I'm like, no, this is not
It's a
every
daily
day.
thing, right?
Not exactly anytime soon, but exactly. I mean, with all the progression that we've made in the last decade or so with space travel, I think we're all hopeful that what we see coming next will just be incredible. Take a live look outside. Another live look outside. I mean, all of our cameras are looking phenomenal. Sunrise was at 6:03 just a few minutes ago. Sunset coming at 7:29. We've got a few passing clouds and maybe a little bit of haze on the horizon, but other than that, we're looking pretty good. Between today and Friday, there are minimal changes on our afternoon high temperatures along the coast and inland. But toward our mountains and deserts, we do get a bit warmer by the time we get into Friday. So you can see how for our inland valleys, for example, El Cajon, 77, 74, 76, right? Maximum 3 degrees of change. But if we look toward Julian, we go from 68 down to 63 tomorrow as that low approaches, and then all the way up to 74 by the time we get to Friday. So we are going to be warming into Friday and Saturday, and that's going to help to give us a nice little boost in temperatures toward the weekend. This low pressure system is going to be pretty close to us by the end of the day, and you can see all of those arrows pointing toward that center of low pressure. That's going to help to give us a little bit more wind along the coast and inland into the afternoon. Overnight from tonight into tomorrow, our mountains and deserts will be disproportionately affected. You can see how Borrego Springs, for example, could get all the way up to 37 miles per hour, whereas along the coast and inland, things will have died down overnight. And then going into tomorrow, will be breezy again countywide, including along the coast and inland. So just something to watch for. Our rain chances are going to start climbing more notably by early next week. This current low coming to the south of us is just going to give us a little bit of wind, help keep our temperatures cool overnight, and give us temperatures in the afternoon that are right around average, but in some cases below average. By the time we get to early next week, a more widespread, robust low pressure system could give us a chance for rain, much cooler temperatures. It's all something we're going to watch for toward about Monday, Tuesday of next week. I want to send things over to Vanessa Paz at 6:08 right now. She's getting a check on how our roads are on our Wednesday, halfway through.
Yeah, Wednesday, halfway through the week, our hump day. Let's go ahead and start things off on the 805 where we're tracking a pretty solid drive coming in from Chula Vista headed northbound. Not too bad as of last check as you pass Home Avenue. Meanwhile, this is what it looks like for that drive as you make your way in from downtown San Diego, heading up towards Mission Bay, maybe Bayho, the Bay Park area. Overall, we're looking at really light drives. Again, we are just entering the 6 o'clock hour and things are rolling smooth at steady speeds all across the region. We're seeing a lot of green average speeds on the 5 and the 805 this morning to get across to Coronado. We're looking at about 57 mile per hour speeds. No major issues out of the East County nor out of the North County headed southbound. Let's go ahead and pull up those travel times because this is what we like to see. All of that green colors, all of those green colors indicating really nice drives and average speeds. We're at 10 to 15 to get you either southbound from the North County or to get in from Escondido towards Oceanside. 3 to 7 minutes for all of those drives headed west in from the East County. And here's what we're seeing at last check, about 10 to 15 minutes coming in from the South Bay, north, and about under 5 inbound from downtown to Coronado. 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those travel borderway times and see what we're working with. About 2 hours and 10 minutes to get across from San Ysidro's port of entry, so we're on a crawl there. Not much better coming in from Otay Mesa's port of entry, about 1 hour 30 at last check this morning.